How much do plyometrics help? Today we talk about how much do plyometrics help, the increase you can expect from plyometric training, where you can make quicker gains and where the gains take a little bit longer. How much do plyometrics help? Well, first we need to define what they should help with. And I've outlined that before, that there are different applications for plyometrics. The main application is to increase explosiveness. So if you want to jump higher, run faster, kick and hit harder, throw faster, the explosiveness and the power development, this is the main application for plyometrics. However, there are also other applications for plyometrics where they can help with your strength and endurance efforts. Yeah, we talked about that before. Plyometrics does not only work on a neural level, so making the signal to the muscle go faster and you ending up being more explosive. Plyometrics also helps to strengthen the muscle-tendon complex, for example, and that can help with your strength efforts or endurance efforts. So if you're in a sport where endurance is required, you can benefit from plyometrics as well as you're in a sport where strength is required, for example, powerlifting. Plyometrics can help you as well. But now back to the question, how much can plyometrics help? Well, there are a couple of considerations you need to take into consideration, which is, for plyometrics to be effective, you need to engage in higher intensity plyometrics. What that means is it requires a certain training history in plyometrics, and that training history needs to have a structured plan over time, plus it needs to be well developed in the sense of starting with low-level plyometrics in the beginning stages and progressing through more advanced and higher level plyometrics at later stages. And we're not talking about weeks here, neither about months, we're talking about years. So if you want to engage in really high level plyometrics, it'll take time. So the benefits you want to reap from plyometric training, you need to put in months and years of practice before you can reap these benefits. So how much can plyometrics help? Obviously you want to hear some quantifiable numbers, right? Quantifiable numbers is always difficult, so please treat these numbers I'm outlining now with care, and they are not written in stone, but they can give you a guideline. So the easiest way to look at improvements in plyometrics, if we look at a vertical jump, for example, a counter movement jump. Remember, a counter movement jump is where you stand upright, you dip down, and you jump back up immediately. So let's have a look what the improvements could be in a counter movement jump following a structured plyometric training. And let's look at the span of, let's say, 6 to 10 weeks. The improvements you can expect from 6 to 10 weeks. Lesser than that, I don't think it makes any sense to implement a plyometric training program if the goal is performance improvements. We talk about neural efficiency and efficiency of movement a little bit later, and there a training program can be lesser than 6 weeks. However, talking about performance improvements, we need to talk and look at a period of at least 6 weeks. So for a novice athlete, the main goal should be learning and training plyometrics. Learning refers to learning how to absorb forces and then efficiently use the elastic energy that is stored in the muscle for the plyometric action, the jump. However, so if we look at a novice athlete, improvements can be somewhere between 10 to 20% over 6 to 10 weeks. So we're talking about a vertical jump of 30 centimeters, which is not very good. However, it's a novice athlete. So 30 centimeters, we can expect an improvement of 10 to 20%, which is 3 to 6 centimeters more, resulting in 33 to 36 centimeters after 6 to 10 weeks of training. For intermediate athletes, however, we can look at an improvement of 5 to 10% following a training for 6 to 10 weeks. And that could be a vertical jump, a counter movement jump of 40 centimeters, improving to 42 to 44 centimeters after following a structured plyometric training program. And for higher level athletes, higher level as well as high level athletes, the performance improvements following a structured plyometric training program is somewhere between 2 to 5% over the span of 6 to 10 weeks. That means if you have a vertical jump of 55 to 60 centimeters, which is quite good, you can expect these 60 centimeters to improve somewhere to 62 to 63 centimeters. So 2 to 3 centimeters over a span of 6 to 10 weeks. So from these examples, you can see that plyometrics, the benefits of plyometrics you can expect. The higher your level, the lesser the scope of improvements you can expect. So plyometrics work best if they are combined with strength training. So combining strength training and plyometrics, you will reap most of the benefits. So look at plyometrics more as the icing on the cake. So where you can see quicker improvements in plyometrics is if you look at movement efficiency, so how well someone can move or how well someone can move with specific footwork patterns. So if we look at certain sports where some footwork patterns are very plyometric in nature, I mentioned tennis before, or boxing, we can see improvements in the efficiency of these footwork patterns in a shorter time span. You can see the movements being more smooth and effortless, and shorter time span refers to somewhere, obviously it depends on your training frequency, so how often you train the plyometrics and the footwork patterns, but we can see improvements over 10 to 21 days. So to wrap it up, how much can plyometrics improve? Number one, the higher the benefits you want to reap, the more time you have to put in the beginning stages. The more advanced you are as an athlete, the lesser the scope of improvement. And last but not least, improvements in movement efficiency can be done a bit quicker. So we talked about that, 10 to 21 days, depending on the training frequency.